Let me tell you what we're not going to do. We're not going to go through a whole season and play semantics back and forth with Greg's wife down to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's what we're not going to do. Understand?
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 10, Episode 5. As I said, we're not going to play semantics with Nene. Not for the whole season. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do, well, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. We're not going to do that. This little thing with Nene and Portia is about to drive me nuts. I didn't say that you should be fired. Yes, the hell you did. That's what you said. That's what you said. You sat right there and said it. Every week, they're rolling the clip of you saying that her and Portia should be let go. You said it. And nobody needs to go back and forth with, well, those weren't my words. I didn't say that. I didn't say it was purple. I said it was a mix of red and blue, bitch. If you don't go sit your ass down somewhere, Nene. Now, if you don't want to be friends with Portia, fine. Don't be friends with Portia. But all this bullshit, you said what you said. And you said that her and Portia and Phaedra should be fired, bitch. Now, you said it. Now, we're not going to keep on going week to week to week, keep seeing the clip, and then seeing you saying that you ain't said it. Then you went to grasping straw. Listen, let me go through this. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to talk about this. We'll get to that when we get to it. Of course, you're not going to work up my dander, Nene, goddammit. Anyway, let's do this little review, y'all. Okay, listen. Season 10, Episode 5. We start right off the whole thing with the party and Kim Zolciak with her ghetto ass up there tearing up Nene's house. I said, now look at this bitch. You're at my house at an all-white party. See, an all-white party, when you come to somebody's house, everything in their house is white. If you got any type of good sense, which we already know, Kim gives you trailer park type teas. Come in there. As soon as you walk into a place that is all white, you're already on your P's and Q's. And you're making sure that you're not knocking things over, that you're not spilling shit, when you're decent. Yeah, I said decent. And then I was talking about Kim Zolciak, kind of a hard little thing in one sentence. Anyway, they get to arguing. You remember her and Kenya was having the argument, and Kenya threw Brielle into the mix, and that upset Kim, which, yeah, there's been a back and forth. James, how did you miss? I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything. And let me explain this one time and one time only. I do not do my reviews jumping back and forth into the show and into Twitter, back and forth, back and forth. I report what I see. This is a review on Season 10, Episode 5. That's what I'm reviewing on. I'm reviewing on Episode 5, not Episode 5 and what happened last Tuesday on Twitter. Okay? So I report about what was shown on the show. Now, I may do extras. When you see a little Real Housewives or one of those shows, extra about something that's actually jumping off or popping off. But when I do my reviews are what was shown on television. Okay? So no, I didn't miss anything. No, I didn't. The whole little situation about Brielle, that wasn't brought up onto the show. They didn't bring up the tweet until this week. Were you watching? The tweet came up this week. So no, I'm not going to sit here and talk to you like I'm on, because I don't follow Kim on Twitter because I don't fucking like Kim. So I don't follow Kim on Twitter, nor her daughter Brielle, and I don't fucking follow Nene either. So, just so we understand each other, I review the show. I review what is shown on the television. I ain't missed nothing. I ain't slow or none of that shit. Understand? Now let's move on. Anyway. So, they go through all of that. Kim's in there. She starts snapping out. Now you want to get to Kenya. You want to wring her neck. Doesn't everybody want to wring Kenya's neck? It is what it is. No matter how you slice it up, how you dice it up, Kim started it. She started it. Kenya hit her below the belt. And it was below the belt. Because it's below the belt to fuck with your kids, you know, and your husbands and all of that. That's below the belt. It is what it is. But all's fair in love and war. Whatever. You know, if you're willing to do that, I don't think it's something you should do. But if you're willing to do it, then you have to take what comes out of it. Because if you say something to me about Dawn Trey or Trayvon, I'm going to whoop your ass. So it's just, you know, it just is what it is. It's par for the course. If you say something to me about Dawn Trey or Trayvon, I'm going to whoop your ass. We're not going to have any more conversation. And I don't care what they did. They could be completely wrong, but they mine, so it don't matter. If you talk about my kids in a position where you're trying to call yourself hurting me, then we're going to go ahead and act like you hurt me when you really didn't hurt me, because they're my kids. Ain't nothing you can tell me about them. But if you feel bold enough to bring them up, I promise you, I'm going to crack you right here between your motherfucking eyes, so get ready. So, I understood Kim snapping out and all of that. They were both wrong. And they all up in Nene's White House during her white party, carrying on like two ghetto bitches. I understand it, but whatever. Both of them wrong. Hey, I don't really like neither one of them. Get each other. Bitch, I ain't voting for nobody. Get each other. I want to see. Come on. But anyway, so Kim's trying to get to Kenya and making this whole fuss. She kicking shit over, knocking shit off the table. And I'm like, look at this trailer park fucking bitch. Ball player's wife. Stinking bitch sitting up in here with $9 million in her face and $1,200,000 on her titties and shit on her hips and everything else. You plastic doll. You in there kicking shit over and carrying on. And if you get over there to Kenya and Kenya bop you in the face and your work switch around, bitch, you come back looking like Kilimanjaro. Girl, if you don't sit down, Kim, you're a hot mess. You're a hot mess. Anybody with all that work in their face don't need to be trying to do no fighting or no arguing, seriously. But whatever. They did all that. End up leaving Nene's house. Nene really, and Nene's so damn shady. Nene, there was a way of play in the middle without saying anything, but she's always running her mouth. So she basically did side with the fact that Kim started it. She did. She sided with the fact that Kim started it, but that Kenya went underhand. Nene just shouldn't have said nothing. Just don't say anything. Just put the bitches out your house, both of them. I'd just put both bitches out my house is what I would have done. But whatever. So, but the proof was in the pudding. Kim started it. But anyway, Nene wanted a piece of Cynthia. Because then she came back and they're throwing shade at Cynthia. Talking about, you and your wig needed this, that, thing, and the other. I said, now why is she being shady to Cynthia? Because Cynthia was stating that Cynthia was standing up for Kenya. Cynthia bounces back and forth. Y'all know she does that. I don't know why everybody's acting like they don't understand. That's what the fuck Cynthia does. Cynthia bounces back and forth. But generally, Cynthia, she states what's right. And it was what was right. But anyway, Nene was doing little shots at Cynthia. Cynthia paid it dust. But I caught it. And I know y'all seen it. Anyway, Nene's just shady. Anyhow, Kim, Croy, and Sheree left. They end up going down to Portia's house. They're like, oh, it's down the street. And I just kind of looked and said, y'all been talking to Mona from over there at Love and Hip Hop, because I can't see Even the fact that they live close, the way these whores are, I can't see you just doing a pop-up visit over at Portia's house. I don't see that. You just pop it up. Cameras just happen to be there too. So you don't get the one out of her, Andy, bitch. But anyway, they go on down there to Portia's and they're downloading all the tea and Kiki and cackling and carrying on. I said, Go ahead on Portia. Said now you'll be to saying something and then you're going to get yourself in trouble because you're going to say something you ain't got no business saying. But that's the way the show goes, right? Now, when they get down there, that damn Kim down there putting 20 on 10. She said something about my injured son. When? When did somebody say something about your injured son? Who knew your son was injured, bitch? You down there putting 20 on 10, trying to make yourself be right, and you ain't right, bitch. You started it. You started it. That woman wasn't doing nothing to you. She wasn't saying nothing to you or bothering you at all. You come in the door, throwing shade at her by her fake marriage. Now you put 20 on 10, talking about she said something about your injured son. And Sheree sitting up there said, well, I didn't hear that. Now, no, you didn't hear it, bitch, because it wasn't said. Mess. Absolute mess. I said, these folks. Anyway, and, Portia was eating it up because she wasn't invited and swore that she didn't care that she wasn't invited, but you were mad. You were mad and you felt stupid at the fact that you weren't invited, which was the whole reason that you weren't invited, to make you feel that way. And you gave Nene all of that. I wouldn't have gave that bitch any of that. I wouldn't have gave her any of that, and I really wouldn't have been bothered to the fact that I wasn't invited. You shouldn't even want to be bothered with her. Period. Any bitch that comes after your throat and tries to make it so that you can't eat, fuck you want to be around them for? Anyway, moving on. Sheree ends up deciding that she wants to do a girls trip. She went to see Candy. She wants to do a girls trip to San Francisco. So everybody's like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. You invited everybody, Portia and Kim. It's like, all right, whatever. Kim didn't end up coming because Kim ain't really thinking about you all. She ended up not going. And Nene ended up bringing Marlo. Mess. A +1. Sheree's braids, they were kind of nice. Those braids, they were nice. For when she went up to visit Candy, she had these braids and they were nice. I didn't know why she still had them when they left to go to San Francisco. But I was like, okay, they were cute for just hanging around, the neighborhood. Girl, you don't take that shit out your head. But whatever. Whatever. And we're not going to get into a debate about braids. When they go places, they generally do a lot of growing up. A lot of dressing up, and going out. That braided hairstyle was very pretty. It was very nice, but it wasn't a hairstyle that translates into evening attire. This is why I'm saying this. And very first thing, the first night when they actually had dinner, you seen how out of place it was. She didn't even change her clothes. She just still had on a damn sweatsuit, and everybody else was in nice dresses, and they were all dressed up like they did. I just didn't understand that, but whatever. Anyway. So again, no, it's not a debate about hair. We could debate that. That was not a hair. That was not a braided style that actually translates over into evening hair. If she had loose micros or something like that, she could have swept them up into an updo or curled them or something. Then I'd be like, cool. But that straight back, just that wasn't going to. That wrong answer. So let's not get into that. Don't start y'all shit down there in them comments. Anyway. Moving on. Okay, so we're going backwards. Before we even left to go to San Francisco, I'm bouncing around. Cynthia had a little sit down with Noelle. They went to this little place to do this little cupcake thing. Noelle basically told Cynthia, you know what? I'm dealing with the little guy, but I think he's going to break up with me because I decided that I don't want to move down to North Carolina. And I was like, good for you, Noelle, because you don't need to move down to North Carolina to be with no man before you figure out what the hell you want to do with yourself. Work on that makeup that you had on. That's what you concentrate on, that makeup, while you had all that makeup on. She was painted up. I said, girl, what is going on? They went to, it's middle of the day. Y'all are going to the little cupcake decorating and tasting thing, and you are painted up, baby. She was giving you cremation number 5. I said, girl, is Portia around, honey? If Portia would have been around, baby, she'd have been pushing you in the casket for sure. So you work on that little makeup, Noelle, and figure out what you want to do with yourself, and then you move on. But no, you didn't need to be moving to North Carolina to be with no man. You didn't need to. That was a good thing. That was a good, solid, smart decision, and I think Cynthia was very happy with it, and shit, so was I, Cynthia. Okay, moving on. Cynthia goes and sees Kenya. Kenya's grandma passed. I'm not going to go real deep into that, but the one thing that I will say, y'all know I'm not a Kenya fan, but I thought it was so touching. And this is something for you, Kenya, actually. You know what? I know she goes around and around about the thing. You know, she really battles with the fact that her mother didn't want her, and her mother won't mend fences with her, and her mother really just don't want to be bothered with her. She played a message in her phone from her Nana that passed. Kenya, let me tell you something. You go back to that phone, and any time that you feel as though you're having a bad day about that shit, about that mammy of yours that ain't shit, and she's not. Your mammy ain't shit. She shit you out like a fucking dog. She left you on a doorstep. She walked the fuck away. Anytime you feel as though you're feeling down about that stinking ass that walked away from you and left you, you play that message from your grandmother. Her grandmother was in the realm of going through dementia and Alzheimer and all of that. And you know how they come and they go. But it's the things that are very important to them that stick the longest. That's just the way that God plans it out. Those things that are the most important to them is the things that stick with them. That's why you see a lot of times old people that are going through that, it'd be a lot of stuff from their childhood. Because, you know, things from our childhood is what molds our world. Those are the things that stick with them. But Nana left a message, and she was talking about Kenya. And she said her mother was going to abort her, and I told her, don't abort that baby. Give that baby to me. And she said, and she gave her to me, and I raised her, and that's my baby. Baby, if it didn't jump a tear up out of my face, and I don't even like Kenya, but I'm telling you, anytime you have a moment where you feel any kind of way with that birth mother of yours, that one that carried you, you play that message from your grandmother, and you know that there is somebody that wanted your ass. She wanted you, and all the way to the goddamn dirt was standing for you. So you ain't got to feel no kind of way about that whore that don't want to be bothered with you. When I seen that, I said, girl, there goes your therapy right there. Right there. Just knowing that somebody wanted your ass. That's enough to get the work started. And then go call a Yonla bitch because you need her. All right, now let's move on. I don't want to get all up in that. But yeah, I liked Nana. I like Kenya's grandma. I don't care for Kenya all that much, but her grandma's cool as shit and good with me. I like Nana. Rest her soul. She rests in peace. Sweet lady. Anyway, moving on. Now, like I said, Nene then went and invited Marlo. I said, Lord have mercy. I said, okay, I was here for it because, you know, and Sheree too. When soon as Sheree seen her, she said, oh yeah, because, you know, when Marlo comes, truth gets out. You know, Marlo gets the shit started. And, you know, Sheree likes to get the shit started. So she was cool. So I didn't tell Nene she could do a +1, but she was glad that she did. So the shit could get rolling. I said, Lord have mercy. So I was here for it because I was like, shit, I just want to see what the fuck Marlo's going to work. Because you know the bitch is going to rag. She's going to rag. That's just what she does. And first, as soon as they got there, baby, Marlo put on, it was a lingerie. It was lingerie. It was sharp. It was sharp. She even had the little headpiece and the little butt. It was very French. It was very runway. It was very it was very Marlo. I loved it. I loved the color was so odd and so on. I was like, come on, Marlo. Marlo came on through. But yeah, she came to the dinner. That's the first time everybody said. And tell me, why the hell did Kenya take them damn dogs with her? People and these dogs. Anyway, whatever. And then in the little van, Sheree opened up to them and let them know she was dating a convict. I said, oh, they're going to use that against you, goofball. I don't even know why you shared that, but whatever. So they got all that going on. Anyway, so we go down to the dinner, and this is when everything got started. They had the dinner 5 damn seconds. Marlo does what Marlo does. Sheree does what she do. And next thing you know, fucking Portia and Nene are arguing. Candy already had threw some shade at Portia. You know, we didn't get so used to that. I didn't even mention that. Candy just throwing shade at Portia, you know. And they was like, oh, Kim's not going to go. And Candy, did y'all hear that? It was cut to commercial. Well, there's one more person that could have stayed home and it would have been all right with me. And she's talking about Portia. I said, she didn't want that damn Candy. It's a hot mess. A hot mess. Steady throwing shade. As soon as somebody call her on it, she going to be crying anyway. But they get to going back and forth. And this is where the whole thing with the semantics came in. And Nene and Portia, they're back and forth, back and forth. You said I should be fired. No, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. I didn't use those words. I didn't say that. Roll back your tapes. Roll back. I said, oh, Nene, you're loud and you're ridiculous. And you're grasping at straws. You don't have to go through anything. You don't have to go through any of that. All you have to do is just say, I don't want to be friends with this bitch. And just be done. It doesn't even have to mean anything. It doesn't have to have any purpose. We know you're a shady bitch, so just be that. Don't go make up no shit, though. Don't try to act like we're all crazy. Don't do that. Just say you don't want to be the girl's friend, and that's it. See, Nene has this really sick way of when you don't do exactly what Nene wants you to do, then you're the worst person in the world. When you are friends with someone that Nene don't want you being friends with, then it's a problem. Marlo, hello. Kenya, hello. I mean, it's just around and around and around and around with Nene. Everybody has to kiss 10 miles of Nene's ass to get along with Nene. Man, fuck Nene and that bullshit. And yes, I give her that. When she is your friend, that bitch will ride for you. But at what cost? At what cost? Cynthia, too. She ran through Cynthia. She working her way around to attacking Cynthia again. Not going to be some more. She going to attack Cynthia again soon. Just keep on watching. That Nene is sick in her fucking head. She really is. She has a sense of entitlement. Again, I've told y'all this before. Children that have been thrown away have this really strange sense of entitlement. The world owes them something. And I think it's because your beginnings were, woe is you. You know, oh, their mother didn't want them and this, that, thing, and the other. There are lots and lots and lots of times foster children that have been raised by other people, people whose parents, birth parents, did not want them or did them wrong. They have this really strange sense of entitlement. And they're just ridiculous because guess what? Ain't nobody think about that shit. It is what it is. Get over it. Move on. Easier said than done, but it's not anybody else's problem. It's your problem to deal with. And Nene is another one who wasn't raised by her actual parents, and I see that little pattern in her. But yeah, everybody owes you. The world owes you. Everybody got to bow down and kiss your ass. Ain't nobody sitting down and kissing that big old donkey ass. Child, if you don't want to be a girl's friend, don't be her friend. Yes, you did ride for Portia when she drugged Kenya and all of that. You did. You rode for her. But again, look at now. At what cost? And you did sit on Andy's show and say she should be fired. Now, that's that. Sit your ass down, Nene. She argued and carrying on her fucking butt. You argued to the point where your button is falling down. Now, that's just ridiculous. Her butt's falling down. Marto standing behind her trying to tweak it and fix it. Said, girl, these people are ridiculous. Ridiculous. But the nucleus of the mess, Nene leaks. I'm done. I'll talk to y'all next week. Later.